Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm introducing a new project and mini series that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be rebuilding the CR250 engine, as you probably saw in the thumbnail, and I'm super excited about it. So Jeff Walker sent over this engine for me to rebuild. If you guys haven't heard of Jeff Walker before, he's a professional motocross and supercross rider, and he also has a YouTube channel that's growing really fast. So he does vlog videos on him racing the bikes and also some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on when you're racing. And occasionally he'll do an awesome project, like right now he's rebuilding CR250 that this engine's out of. So definitely check his channel out. I'll have it linked up in the top right and then also down below in the description for you guys to check him out and stay up to date on this series on his channel as well as mine. But anyways, I'm super stoked to share this project with you guys. We're going to go all out on this engine for Jeff, and it should be a ton of fun. So let's go check out the engine and see what we're working with. Alright, so this is the engine here. It's out of a 2002 Honda CR250 two-stroke, and these 250 two-strokes are a ton of fun to work on, and they also make a ton of power. I believe this CR250 for this year was actually a little bit underpowered compared to the other engines, but we're going to soup it up, and it's definitely going to be plenty powerful. But we don't really know. Overall, I mean, it's a little dirty, but we don't really know what condition it is until you open it up. Most of these used engines are a little bit clapped out, but this one was running when Jeff bought it, so it should be nothing too crazy inside the engine. But yeah, first up, we got to tear the engine down, and then after we get it completely torn down and really look at everything, we can get a plan going for the build, and I'll really talk to you guys about all the ideas I have and get your guys' opinion on it down in the comments. But yeah, if you guys are excited about this series and me and Jeff working together on this project, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. But anyways, you guys are probably done hearing me talk, so I'm going to go ahead, grab my drill, and we're going to get to work on tearing down this engine. Okay, so the whole top end part of the engine has been removed, and there was some damage that I'll show you guys here. First thing I noticed, this isn't really damage, but you could see on the inside of your cylinder head, you got a lot of carbon there. So that's telling you you're not getting like an even burn. You want more spread out, and you can see where all the heat is. So not a good sign there, but not the worst thing in the world. And then next thing I saw was the cylinder. So if you look on the inside of the cylinder, there's a good bit of damage just taken out of there from the piston going up and down on it, and the ring's probably catching right above the exhaust ports here. So I'll definitely need to get that fixed. I'll talk about that later, how I'm going to get it fixed at the end of this video. The power valves, you see them pop down. They actually look okay, seem to be moving good. So nothing bad there, but definitely more damage on the cylinder than I was expecting for a running engine. So the last couple things I noticed were on the piston and reed valve. If you look here on the piston, the top compression ring is actually bent and then engraving into the piston, and there's definitely some fingertip scratches there that you can feel with your fingernail. So definitely more damage on the cylinder, but the piston doesn't look to be in that great a shape. And then actually on the reed valves, there's a pretty good chip out of one of the pedals here. So definitely good that we're replacing these as well. So definitely more damage than I expected on this engine for it being running. But overall, the crankshaft seems to be moving pretty good. Not any up and down play. So I'm going to go ahead, tear into this, and make sure we don't have any more other issues there. All right, well, as you guys can see, the cases are all split, and actually really happy with what I'm seeing here. So the crank, as I said earlier, it spins really smooth. Even though I'm going to replace it, I'm happy that it spins smooth. It kind of gives you an idea of the wear on the bottom end. And transmission feels really good, super smooth. Not very many heat marks on these gears. Usually there's a lot of heat marks on the transmission, so definitely happy with that. That's a good sign. So I'll go over each gear, look at each individual teeth just to make sure there's no chips, but from right now, I'm pretty happy with that. But the next step is we're gonna go take out the transmission, the crankshaft, and then take a look at the bearings, and then I'll talk to you guys about what the next steps are for this engine and how far we're gonna go with it, depending on what Jeff wants to do. All right, well, here is all the parts laid out. Not everything, but most of the main things laid out here. So we do have the Wiseco engine rebuild kit. So that's gonna come with the main bearings here, which definitely need to be replaced. They turn okay, but it gets locked up a little bit. And then these other bearings, I don't think the Wiseco kit comes with these. I'll have to double check. But your shifter arm bearing is not a super high priority because it's just not turning that much at a high speed, but it's actually turning pretty good here. This bearing's turning pretty good. I like to replace the transmission bearings while I had the cases apart, but I'll talk to Jeff on that. And then this one, it's got a little bit of resistance, so I definitely think we should replace that one. And then come over here, shift drum bearing, probably not have to replace that. This one here is locked up, so definitely got to replace that. And then this one's spinning pretty good, so that one's probably optional, just depending on what else we decide to do. And then here at transmission, as I said, I kind of spun through all these gears and they all looked pretty good, so nothing to worry about there. I'm happy with that. What I might do and what I'm thinking of, just gotta talk to Jeff, is maybe doing some sort of a finish on these, like micro finish, isotropic finish, which basically shines these up, takes all the reduces the friction, makes the gears last longer, and then can also give you an increase in horsepower just because of you're getting less resistance as you're turning the engine over. So that would be these and other steel parts in the engine. As far as the crankshaft, obviously we're going to replace that with the kit, so don't need to worry about this. Flywheel, I think I'm just going to stay OEM with that. And then we do have some awesome parts from Boysen, which I'll show you guys in the next video. But that'll also help out on a bunch of the stuff. And the reed valves, if you remember, were cracked, so we're getting reeds from Boysen. That's the only thing I'll tell you about, but we're getting other stuff as well. And then the cylinder, I showed you the damage. Definitely need to get the damage repaired. Other than that, if they get the damage repair, you could definitely reuse the cylinder. And then really want to get some porting done. So if you guys know anybody who does a good job porting on these CR250s, let me know down in the comments. I'll check them out. Do some research on them, that kind of stuff. But maybe Jeff will want to go big bore. I don't know. I'll talk to him about it. I tend to stay away from them on the 252 strokes just because, you know, I've heard they have a lot of vibrations and stuff like that, and then they'll put more stress on your crankshaft. If you guys have a brand you recommend or something that's pretty reliable for him, I'll definitely look into that. The only thing we haven't talked about yet is going to be the clutch. So the clutch actually looks pretty good. So definitely, I don't think we need to replace the clutch right now or the basket. There's not a lot of wear on it. But if Jeff wants to do something aftermarket, we can there, or he can do that in the future. All right, but I'm definitely going to get some more trick parts for this and then do some Cerakote work in this series for sure. All right, guys, well, that's as far as we're going to get on the engine today. It actually looked okay besides some of the damage, but it's going to be definitely a good building block to make this engine really awesome for Jeff. I do have to run everything by Jeff, and then in the next video, we'll have everything decided and get to work on building this engine. I'm curious how interested you guys are to see this engine build series for Jeff, so I'll set a like goal for this video of 1,200 likes. If this video gets 1,200 likes, I'll make 3 or 4 videos on this engine build process. If not, I'll probably just do 1 or 2, but they'll be awesome videos as well. But yeah, make sure to stay tuned. I have some awesome content coming up on the channel. The shifter cart's going to get fired up in the next video. And then the YZ250 will be final video on that before assembly. I should be getting the frame back on that I got powder coated a while back. So super excited to show you guys that. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.